joining us now from the Jackson Civil War muster, President Marie Simhoff and Vice President Ethan Smith. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Happy to be here.
Two of Jackson's most knowledgeable historians with us. Perfect that we have people that know so much about our community and the state's Civil War history heading up the muster.
Yeah, it's great to have it back. It's been a long time.
Yeah, so it's been more than 3 years, right?
3.5, 4, I don't know, I lose track, but it's been a long time. And it's
Very anxious to get back to it.
crazy to think that it's just next weekend now. So, super excited.
Yeah, I can't believe it. We're hoping for weather like this, but
Absolutely.
you know, if it rains, no problem, right?
Nope, you'll have some, there's some very dedicated reenactors who will be, still out there in the trenches. And they have rain ponchos and such from the period, 1860s rain ponchos, and they'll be out there still.
Actually,
gunpowder therapy.
well, they fought in rain and they fought in
absolutely.
snow,
Absolutely, can't control it.
and we've had rainy musters in the past. There's just authenticity, but this year's different because we're not focusing on specific battles, right?
Correct.
What do we do? What are we doing then? Because there will be battling.
Right. They were kind of letting the commanders on both the Union and Confederate side be able to decide what we're doing for a battle. So it kind of makes it a little spontaneous, but makes it fun for a reenactor side as well.
Again, more authenticity because in a real battle, the other side had no idea what their game plan was.
Right.
Yep, so you'll really see things develop, firsthand, rather than something scripted where they go piece by piece. Now things will actually develop and kind of engage by how the battle goes on. So, someone's flanking, then they'll move to that flank, they'll develop from there. So it'll be very moving to see.
Will the cavalry be back?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Full force too.
Yep, they've built up their numbers through the pandemic. You'd think that the pandemic would really have dropped the hobby and you'd lose a lot of reenactors, but no, the cavalry gained quite a force through the time.
Well, you brought along some actual artifacts and some photographs, so what do you got?
So we want to talk about Michigan in the Civil War. So I'm a collector of Civil War artifacts. So right here in front, this chair is one that was owned by Captain Alfred Brooks. And he was part of the 17th Michigan Company I, and this is kind of what got me started in reenacting, because I joined the 17th Michigan, and this is a part of that unit history. So it's just kind of a special piece for me, and 17th Michigan was in Cold Harbor, Antietam, South Mountain, Vicksburg. So you just have to think, was this chair there, and what kind of impact that made it on this captain's life.
This very chair,
Absolutely.
right here, this guy, that's in this picture.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yep. That's Captain Brooks right there. He's from Kalamazoo.
How do you know, and how does this last? Where did it come from?
I actually bought it locally here in Jackson. Just stories tied to it. And, it's been passed down the family and bought over time. And, this is Captain Brooks's chair.
Amazing.
You need to see the material still there, strong. And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah, it's
wouldn't
got a little worn pieces here, but for the most part, very well intact.
Well, it must have been well made too, because it looked like Captain Brooks was a pretty big guy.
Yes, yes, he was.
Okay.
So.
All right, and you've got.
Yeah, we got
I
a
think
couple
I cut
other-
myself.
Oh. So right here, we have what we call a tourniquet. That's used for cutting off all the blood circulation just before we do an amputation. And then right here, once you've done that, we're going to add the bone saw. So that's when...
Amputate?
Yes. So at 3 o'clock at Jacksonburg, are you going to volunteer
No,
for
thank
this? So at 3 o'clock both days, right after the battle, we're going to have a medical scenario, which is one of my favorite parts of the Civil War muster from a spectator and a reenactor perspective. So both of these are original Civil War artifacts.
This was actually used as a bone saw in
Yes.
the Civil War.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, medical is very different during that time period, and you got to think too. You think of large engagements, Gettysburg, Antietam, Sharpsburg. They had thousands of wounded soldiers, and they had to move them very, very quickly.
So I'm sure you've heard the term "bite the bullet" before.
Mm-hmm.
That came from the Civil War. You know, the doctors and nurses would give them a bullet to bite on to be able to kind of help alleviate that pain that they were going through.
Yeah, because we didn't have, well, there was nothing. There was no
Right.
anesthesia.
Very,
was there?
very limited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, final item, if spectators are going to go to the camps, you might actually see some of our reenactors partaking in pastimes. You know, pastimes of Civil War soldiers included dominoes, chess, you know, marbles. There's actually the first counts of bowling
Really?
taking place during the Civil War. They would take a cannonball with some logs, roll it down a dirt path, and that's kind of how bowling
That's
was
interesting.
getting started.
I didn't know that one. See,
Yeah.
now I'm learning here.
Yeah.
Playing with the ammunition.
Yes.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah. No. Let us handle it.
And Maurice, you brought a flag, and you've done an awful lot of research on battle flags of the Civil War.
Absolutely. Yeah, so in our, or I would say in the Capitol building, but they were moved. Now in the Michigan History Center in the archives of Michigan are over 250 Civil War battle flags.
250?
Yep, absolutely.
So each unit had their own flag?
Yep, they had about two of them. Their national flag and their regimental, and this is an example of a regimental flag that is made to look exactly like the flag of the 102nd U.S. Colored Troops in its current condition. So it's a silk hand-painted flag, and through its 4 years in the war, became very, very tattered and beat up. So we will have Mr. Matt Van Acker, who is running that current collection there, Save the Flags, who will be speaking on these flags
So
at
it's,
3 p.m.
you can see it's tattered
Yes.
toward the bottom. And that, this is not an actual, this is
No,
a
this is a replica. Yeah.
replica.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, the original probably wouldn't even be able to hold up like that. There's, you know, they're so falling to pieces, and they were in the rotunda of the Capitol building on that middle floor there, and being in the sunlight coming down there, it almost turned some of the flags into dust.
Hmm.
So from being in that direct sunlight, so they're undergoing some serious conservation currently, and to be able to have a direct speaker who can speak really to those flags is pretty neat.
How many musterers are coming in for the weekend?
We got about a little over 400 reenactors scheduled right now. Sometimes they add more as people, you know, find out they can go, or they just don't register before. So we'll get reenactors that trickle in, sometimes till 4 in the morning. You'll have cars coming in there all night long.
What else do people need to know?
I think we've covered a lot of the subjects
Yeah, right.
here the last couple of times.
Big thank you to all of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not possible without them.
Phil Tripp has been a great sponsor of Tripp's Auto Shop. This year we're really thankful to have Tripp return, and then Experience Jackson has also been a large partner in this event returning this year. And that was one of the biggest pieces. To bring this event back, we had to have the sponsors return as well. And to see all of the different sponsors and new sponsors come in to help make the event return was really heartwarming to me.
Well, thanks to both of you for coming in and sharing your historical artifacts with our viewers. And thanks for all the work you both are doing as volunteers on the event, too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll see you at the muster at the Cascades. From the Jackson Civil War Muster, President Maurice Simhoff and Vice President Ethan Smith.